For those in the financial sector, environmental, social, and governance, or ESG due diligence, is increasingly important when investing in soft commodities like natural rubber. But what is the commodity rubber exactly, and where does it come from? And why should we consider the environmental and social implications of rubber? One of our first objectives for this training is to take a short and fascinating tour through the history of rubber and its ubiquity in our daily lives. From the shoes on our feet and the tires on countless vehicles, to everyday items like mattresses, toothbrushes, and even yoga mats, rubber is everywhere. Get ready for an eye-opening journey into the world of natural rubber. Understanding the distinction between natural and synthetic rubber is essential, as both will face different ESG challenges. Natural rubber is derived directly from the latex sap of rubber trees and makes up around half of the world's rubber consumption. It offers unique attributes such as high heat resistance and superior mechanical strength. As a result of these properties, aircraft tires predominantly use natural rubber rather than synthetic. Medical equipment, such as surgical gloves and catheters, also rely on natural rubber for its flexibility and resilience. Synthetic rubber, on the other hand, is produced from petroleum byproducts. While it can be engineered to have specific properties, synthetic rubber typically offers good resistance to oils, chemicals, and temperature variations. For example, certain industrial hoses and seals use synthetic rubber for its resistance to chemicals. Natural and synthetic rubbers can also be blended to create mixed rubber. This mix aims to harness the best of both worlds, creating a highly durable product resistant to high heats, chemical damage, and harsh environmental conditions. A common application of this mix is car tires. They need to resist extreme friction and weathering and deliver value for money to consumers during their lifespan. Car tires are responsible for a significant proportion of the world's consumption of both natural and synthetic rubber. In this training, we'll be focusing entirely on the soft commodity, natural rubber. Natural rubber is derived from a variety of plant species. Surprisingly, even dandelions are a source. However, the predominant species for industrial use is the rubber tree, Hevea brasiliensis. Cultivated in plantations, the tree can have a productive lifespan of 25 to 30 years. The extraction process, known as rubber tapping, involves making precise incisions around the rubber tree's trunk. This injury releases latex, the white liquid form of rubber. Dripping down into a cup, once exposed to the air, this latex coagulates, forming what is referred to as a cup lump. The story of natural rubber takes us on a journey that starts in the Amazon rainforest, where the rubber tree still grows naturally within this dense green expanse today. Colonial endeavors then saw this species being transported and propagated in Southeast Asia, turning this region into the major hub of global rubber production. Ideal growing conditions for the rubber tree include annual temperatures of 26 to 28 degrees C and yearly rainfall exceeding 1,500 millimeters. This makes tropical regions of Southeast Asia, Central and South America, as well as Central and West Africa, optimal for rubber plantations. The growth of rubber trees in tropical plantations raises a crucial environmental concern: deforestation, the act of clearing a wide area of natural forest, which has major consequences for humans and wildlife, both locally and globally. These maps show 20 years of historical tropical deforestation and pinpoint current and future deforestation hotspots globally. A stark reality emerges from these visuals. Deforestation is persistent and intensifying across many tropical forest landscapes, including many of the areas most suitable for rubber production. Historically, natural rubber has been one of the many drivers of deforestation in the tropics. And this context is essential for understanding natural rubber's intricate links to broader climate and biodiversity crises. So, how has natural rubber production impacted tropical forests? In the last 4 decades, there's been a significant surge in the land area dedicated to rubber cultivation. From 5.5 million hectares in 1982, it has skyrocketed to a staggering 12.9 million hectares as of 2021. This rapid expansion often comes at the cost of natural forests, and deforestation continues to be an issue for the sector today. This graph visually represents the upward trajectory of the sector over the years. Although 2020 saw a temporary plateau, largely due to the COVID pandemic's impact, the demand for medical gloves surged, compensating to an extent for the decline in other sectors. Demand for natural rubber is projected to continue to increase in the medium term. Natural rubber is primarily produced in two countries, Thailand and Indonesia. Together, they contribute over half of the global rubber supply. And in 2021, just 11% of rubber produced came from outside of Asia. It's also noteworthy that the rubber industry is significantly dependent on smallholders, small-scale rubber farmers who manage areas varying from less than 1 hectare to 50 hectares, with over 85% of production coming from there. This proportion is notably higher than in other commodities, including palm oil, coffee, and cocoa. In reality, the average size of smallholder farms differs greatly per country, and even per province. Smallholders are pivotal in the rubber sector, with a staggering 6 million contributing to the global supply chain. A majority of these farmers operate independently, without being contracted to specific companies. This is in stark contrast to sectors like palm oil, where smallholders are often associated with commercial plantations. Such independence introduces distinct supply chain complexities, especially around ESG factors like traceability and policy compliance. We'll delve deeper into these nuances later. Moreover, smallholders often grapple with yield challenges, garnering less latex per hectare compared to commercial entities. Enhancing productivity is crucial, not just for the farmers and supply chain enterprises, but also for the environment. After all, higher yields can reduce the need to clear more land, ensuring sustainability while meeting the demand for natural rubber. Let's delve into what the supply chain for natural rubber products might look like. Starting from the cultivation of rubber trees, it takes 7 years before a tree is mature enough for tapping to begin. During this time, a smallholder may plant other crops, rely on government grants, or work on other plantations for their income. After the extraction of latex through the process of tapping, it then undergoes various processing stages, including shredding, washing, and drying, until it's manufactured and becomes the rubber products we see and use daily. It's noteworthy that the value chain can diversify if the producer decides to market not just the latex, but also the rubberwood logs. When trees are no longer productive for latex extraction, they can be logged and sold for firewood or used in furniture manufacturing. The plantation is then replanted with new rubber trees. A significant portion of natural rubber is channeled towards the tire industry, which we'll cover next. The tire industry is the largest buyer of natural rubber. Over 70% of global natural rubber production is utilized by this industry alone. The unique durability of natural rubber is paramount here, constituting 20 to 40% of a tire's composition. Given this significant reliance, tire manufacturers and the broader automotive sector aren't just passive consumers. They wield considerable influence in championing sustainability within the sector. Let's conclude this introductory module. We've learned some basics about the natural rubber sector, tracing its value chain, its dominant presence in the tire industry, and the vital role of smallholder farmers. We've started to touch upon the need for sustainable practices within this industry, especially given its significant environmental and societal implications. In Module 2, we'll take a closer look at the environmental, social, and governance (ESG) risks intrinsic to the natural rubber sector. We'll unpack these challenges, trace their origins, and examine the potential consequences if left unaddressed.